Donnie and Dolly. The team is supported by ableauctions.ca. Closing your business? We can help. And King of Floors, your vinyl, laminate, and engineered flooring superstore.
Pierre McGuire, hopefully. All of our guests today are sponsored by the O's marketing team at Royal LePage. They will find your next home in Nanaimo, Nanoose Bay, Parksville, and Qualicum Beach. Find out more at wearerealestate.com as we wait on a busy Pierre McGuire. You had a problem with Jeff Patterson saying it might be a good idea for the Canucks to...
I did not. See, you're putting words in my mouth. Now, what you need to do is go to the...
No, I'm not, actually.
Yes, you are.
Can I explain? Just
Can
let me
I
explain.
Okay, go.
Okay.
Go.
Okay. So, second-round draft pick goes to Seattle in order for the Kraken to take Holtby and take that $4.3 million.
Why would you give a second-round pick? Why? Worst comes to worst, you're okay with Holtby being the backup.
You save money that way.
Yeah, geez, I didn't know that. But I'm not coughing up a second-round pick. They gave one for Miller. They gave one for Toffoli. No more. Just keep the picks.
Yeah. First-round pick for Miller.
Yeah.
Okay, we got Pierre? All right. Joining us now is the newly appointed Vice President of Player Development for the Ottawa Senators. After 2 decades in broadcasting, before that, of course, he worked in Ottawa, in Pittsburgh, and Hartford, got himself a Stanley Cup ring with the Penguins. Pierre McGuire. How are you, sir?
Don and Rick, I'm doing fantastic. I hope you guys are doing great, too. Everybody forgets I won 2 Stanley Cups in Pittsburgh.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, yes, right. Yes.
Sorry about that.
It's hard to win 1. It's really hard to win 2, but that's okay. That's okay.
Hey, Pierre, we just had a crazy day today. The Canucks officially named their Abbotsford AHL team the Canucks, the Abbotsford Canucks. Why is it these days, I don't know if you've noticed it, but more than ever, and I've always kind of been like this, people care more about what a team is going to be named, what their colors are, what their logo looks like, than they do about trades and hirings.
I don't know the answer to that, and I'm not even going to try to answer it with a smart answer except to say my passion is for hockey, for players on the ice, for skillful plays, for great saves, for hard hits, sometimes some really good fights. So I just love the game, and I'm not going to try to get inside other people's heads or their opinions.
Pierre, you, as we mentioned, move to the Ottawa Senators after a long, successful career in broadcasting. Was this a difficult decision?
No, it wasn't. When NBC didn't get the rights back, my wife and I had a long talk, and I said, I would like to, with your blessing, try to go back into hockey. Both our children are in university in the United States. One's going to be a junior, and one's going to be a freshman. We played in the BCHL this year in Penticton, my son Ryan, and what a great opportunity that was, playing for Freddie Harbinson, and what a great league that is. We're just so grateful that he played there. But anyways, so our son's going to be at university. Our daughter's already there. So we're empty nesters. And I said to my wife, do you give me your blessing to try to go back? And she said, absolutely. So I contacted 3 or 4 teams. A couple of them were really hot on it. They were like, wow, that's cool. We'd love to talk to you a little bit more. And then one team was like, we're not really that interested. I don't think they had any room anyways. But then the Friday before Father's Day Sunday, I got a text message from Eugene Melnick, the owner of the Ottawa Senators. I never approached him. They approached me, and we started a dialogue that went on for about a month, and finally ended up in a face-to-face, and we agreed to terms, and about 5 days later it became public.
What's your role going to be, Pierre? It might be obvious, but maybe you could expand on it.
No, I don't think it. I think it's a unique opportunity.
Okay.
I think it's a position that a lot of people will be evaluating around the National Hockey League, and if it works the way we think it's going to work, I think some teams might try to mimic it. But I'll be involved with the NHL team on a day-to-day basis. I'll be involved with the American Hockey League team in Belleville, where Troy Mann has done such a good job as our coach there. I'll be involved with that team as well on a day-to-day basis. I'll be involved with our amateur scouts, our professional scouts. I'll be involved in the community in terms of dealing with the media and dealing with charity situations and things like that. So it's an all-encompassing job. It's an exciting job. I've had some phenomenal discussions with my partner here, Pierre Dorion, who's the general manager of the team, and we're really excited about the way it's going. So far, we've been at it since Monday, but he and I have been at it since last Wednesday, really. So it's been very, very interesting and very, very fruitful so far.
Hey, Pierre, you brought up the farm team and the big news in Abbotsford today for the Canucks farm team. But what are some of the keys for you, those kids on the farm, development, ice time? You've been in the game a long time. Have things changed on the way teams are developing kids on the farm, or is it the same?
I think it's a lot the same. I think one of the things that's really important is you show those kids that they're being evaluated all the time, that their participation at that level matters a ton. And so what I would say is, it requires you spending a lot of time watching them, contacting their coaches, doing 10-game segment reports. I'm going to travel with that team a fair bit when I have the chance to. And if I'm with the NHL and I can catch the NHL team, I should say, and I can catch them somewhere on the road on an off day, I will do that. So that's kind of what we're going to do here. We really care about our development program. We love our coaches down there. The job they've done so far has been fantastic. David Bell, Ben Sexton, we talked about Troy before, and we have a great goalie coach down there in Justin Peters. So I'm just really excited about the opportunity to be hands-on with everything. And Pierre's given me his blessing to do that, and that's kind of how the job's going to present itself.
You're joining a team with a ton of young talent, but when you look at the complete picture, how far do you think Ottawa is away from competing, making the playoffs, and getting to the next level?
I don't talk about the playoffs. I think that's for DJ Smith and his coaching staff to talk about that. We'll manage expectations as a management group in terms of the players and how they develop. We're excited about the prospects for our team, and we should be. I mean, we've got some good young players that took a huge step last year. I thought they finished the season fantastically well, and I was watching it with an unbiased eye because I wasn't involved. But we're going to leave the prognostication to the coaching staff, and as a management team, we're going to work our butts off to get the very best players for our coaches, whether it's at the American League level or at the NHL level for DJ Smith and Jack Capuano and David Spain and Bob Jones, our coaching staff at the NHL level.
Let's go back to, and we're talking to Pierre McGuire, folks. Let's go back to over 2 decades ago, before you entered broadcasting. Hey, Pierre, how much more skilled do you think kids are today? Not just kids, but hockey players in general, because of year-round hockey, because of academies, because of zone teams, all of that. How much more skilled are they?
I think they're much more skilled. I think the game's never been played at a higher level. I was part of coaching a really good team in 1991 and 1992 with the Pittsburgh Penguins, back-to-back Stanley Cup winners. And we had an anniversary gathering probably 3 or 4 years ago in Pittsburgh, and we were watching tape as a group, of those teams. And Mario Lemieux said something that I thought was really cool. He said the Edmonton Oilers and us, our team in Pittsburgh, were probably the last 2 teams that maybe would have had a chance to play in this era. Just of how great this area is. And for Mario to have said that was pretty strong, and I really respect him so much, having had the privilege of being around him for as long as I was. So I think that, again, that's something that really matters, that these kids play the game at such a high level. I'd like to think I was a pretty competent player when I played, and I look at my son, I'm like, I can't even play at that level.
Yeah.
I'm not even close to that level, So I think the kids are just so much better today than we were.
Finally, Pierre, how much more can a kid, and I use the word kid, they're all kids to me, I'm that old, but Pierre, how much can a player improve once he hits the pro level?
That is such an awesome question, and I'm going to give you some instantaneous reaction. One of the things I told Mr. Melnick was a key component going forward for any NHL team, because of the salary cap and the fact we've had COVID and some of the budgets have dropped, it's going to be instantaneous improvement of National Hockey League players over the course of a National Hockey League season. And so my reference point for a lot of people when I've talked about this, because I watch so many games, is Minnesota. And if you look at the internal development this season of Jordan Greenway, of Yoel Eriksson-Ek, of Jonas Brodin, if you just watch the tapes from the beginning of the year to the end of the year, and you see the development and the improvement of those players, it's phenomenal. And I think that that's something that's critically important for any NHL team, is to follow the development of players internally at the NHL level. And I know that's something I've talked to DJ about here. I've talked to Jack Capuano about it. I've talked to Bob Jones about it. And I haven't talked to Davis Payne yet. He's out fishing somewhere exotic, so I haven't talked to Davis yet. But I know we've talked about that, and I think it's something that's critically important to the well-being of your team going forward. I really do.
We could go on and on. Pierre, thanks so much for this. Really appreciate it. All the best in your new venture.
Oh, my gosh, it's great visiting with you guys. Thanks so much for having me on. I can't wait to be on again. Thanks a lot, gentlemen. Take care.
Thanks,
Enjoy
Pierre.
the rest of your summer.